Here we are, July 26, 2023, in the car on our way to Mount Greylock.
Woo!
For some bicycle practice training. Training for?
Mount Washington
Hillclimb. All right. When did you decide to have this goal?
This just happened like a month ago, or a little bit over a month ago. Originally, I just wanted to ride Mount Greylock as a birthday thing instead of doing Everesting
on Zwift, because you've been doing e-Everesting the past couple of years.
Yeah, and it's always been a dream of mine to feel like what an in real life climb felt like. And then came up here and did it the first time, and then you were like, oh wow, maybe you want to do Mount Washington. And
because you had a good time.
I did have a good time.
A good time meaning you had a fun time and also a good time up the mountain.
Yeah, so that gave me a little bit of a confidence boost. And yeah, it was like the original goal was to feel comfortable enough to do Mount Greylock Hillclimb TT, which I still will do, but we added in September. But then we were like, well, why not do known as one of the world's toughest hill climbs?
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
If you're going to do the training, if you're going to do the practice, if you're going to get the equipment, why not use it?
Yeah. It's Donnybrook.
We're going to have a real Donnybrook here. Donnybrook Golf Course.
Yeah, so then it just turned into, I mean, you being so brilliant with like equipment and stuff, you like that night before I even said yes, we're looking at what I should get for gearing.
Well, and, SRAM and Zip and Felt, they're pretty brilliant.
Yeah, I know, but like brilliant. You were like, okay, we need a new, cassette for you to get up the hill. Yeah,
a little modification. So we got some Zip C303 tubulars and Felt. Oh boy.
What?
FR Race, is that what the frame is called? FR Race?
Yeah, FR.
FR Race.
Felt FR. And
SRAM red road components, except for the back, you got some mountain bike SRAM components, a 1052 cassette. It's like a dinner plate in the back. And a single chainring 38 tooth in the front. So that gear ratio means that you can go about 4 miles an hour, but still be spinning somewhere in the 80s. So even on Mount Washington, you're not going to get down to that low of an RPM. So you got the right gearing.
We'll see how low you can go.
You got the right gearing. You got pretty much the lightest bike you possibly can have. Training's been going well.
Yeah.
You're getting fitter, do you think?
I feel like I'm getting fitter. It's been an interesting journey because normally in the summer is kind of off season for Zwift.
Off season.
So to have like a plan and to be like, I'm not drinking, I'm like really trying to focus on, just keeping stress level down and not getting so nervous about little things and
you're not partying at the beach as much as you used to in the summertime.
I never partied at the beach.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so today we are testing out the steeper side.
Last time you came, you got a couple of Strava QOMs. Well, multiple, but on both sides of the Greylock Hillclimb, the north and the south side. So today, what are you going for today? What are you doing?
Well, I am going to test my fitness, see where I'm at, and see if I can beat my time from last time.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see.
Yep. Test out the bike, test out the gearing. Yesterday we went up just kind of a little bit easier just to get used to everything. What was the gearing like? What did it feel like? Big difference or not so much?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, when we first started on the steep side, I know we were kind of like warming up on it, but it felt like really good to not, when it kind of pitched up to 17 for a few, I was like, oh, I could just shift my gear and I'm still sitting. So it felt really like good, and I felt confident that I won't fall over on Mount Washington,
totally.
Especially towards the end, because it like I think pitches up to 28% at the very end.
Well, you know it does. You've been watching the videos, reconning.
Yeah. And the more, for me, like, the more I watch it, I still feel like that little, like, flutter of nerves, and then, like, it kind of goes through your body. But, like, the more I watch it, the more I'm getting, like, comfortable with that feeling.
Do you feel like your nerves over time, you've been able to, they're different, or you channeled them differently, or are they the same?
I
Because
think
you've been Zwift racing for a few years now.
Yeah.
At a pretty high level.
Yeah. The nerves are always there, but I feel like that's like excitement nerves. But I've been able to calm myself down as far as like breathing, and like you could feel your body calm down.
Breathing.
Yeah,
do you do meditation? How do you breathe, and how do you calm it down to get it to a manageable level? Because some nerves are good, right? You get the adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
But how do you recognize too much is too much? And when you do, breathing alone, or just some sort of meditation or something?
I mean, you can have like, well, for me, I like have a little bit of a mantra, but also like just the knowing, like, okay, let me just do my inhaling, like I think it's like a 5-count breath, and then you like exhale. It just kind of brings me back and like takes everything calmer. Yeah. So it's been a practice though, because I started that before World Championships. Like in December, I started doing some meditation for relaxing my nerves, and I felt it worked great for World Championships this year. So it's definitely helped, I think, for this.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, do you feel pretty confident that you can get a good time, maybe even a better time today?
I hope so. We'll see. I mean, I'm not putting, it's like interesting. When I was getting ready this morning, I was like, oh, am I going to get a better time today? And like, again, I felt like nerves go through my body. And I was like, you know what? I feel fit, and I'm going to try my best today and see what happens, and not put too much pressure on myself, have fun. That's number one, is to have fun. And I think when you just go into anything being like, this is going to be awesome, this is going to be fun, no matter what, like, I think it just changes the whole ride to begin with. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What if you don't get a better time today? How are you going to take it?
It is what it is. I'll try better next time. I mean, I wasn't feeling well for a few days, so I'm feeling better today. I mean, you can't beat yourself up anymore. I just,
It wouldn't stop you from waking up and continuing on with the process tomorrow.
Yeah. I would be like, why didn't I get a good time? Like, I would have to like assess, how did I feel? Was it because I was too hot? Did I not drink enough? Like, I would definitely not brush it off. I would look into like maybe why I didn't get a good time.
You're either winning or you're learning.
Yeah.
And there's benefit to either one.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm choosing to do this. No one's forcing me. So if you're doing it because you want to do it, you better have a great time doing it and not regret it. So that's that.
All part of the journey.
Yeah.
Is it kind of on Zwift? Sometimes there's haters. Remember?
Yeah.
You always hear it. Oh, these people legit.
Yeah.
Does that motivate you a little bit? Do you ever think about that anymore?
Not really, because I've learned, and this is like anything in life, anything you do, there's always going to be haters, and there's always going to be supporters. And like, if someone doesn't like you, no matter what you do, you can win the Olympics, they're still not going to like you. So you can't be doing something for them. They have something wrong with them, that they are looking at something to hate on. I've always known who I am. You always know. You were the one that pushed me in the beginning of the pandemic.
Hey, no one's forcing you.
No. And the thing is, someone actually asked me, oh, I bet you're doing that Washington to shut all the haters up. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not going to put myself through the immense amount of pain that probably will be. spending the whole summer training, not drinking, like really honing in on the little details. Like, you have to do that for you, and the amount of money it costs too, like the equipment, and also like hotel. There's a lot going into it, and you have to do it for yourself, because you can't prove, again, like if you try it for anyone else, it's just setting yourself up for disappointment, because they're gonna look for the next thing to hate on.
Because you're always gonna find, you can always find something to hate on, with someone, or to love on, with the same person.
Yeah, and like now I'm being a little more open about, I have a race coming up, but I've only told people that I feel like are actually going to be putting some good vibes and good energy my way, to support me. And because also you can only control yourself and your training. Like you said, I can't control the weather. I can't control if something happens with the bike. Of course, that would be the worst thing ever, if like the chain fall, like if something happens, that's not in my control. That would suck, but it what are you gonna do? So I've taken all of these things that probably would have freaked me out last year, or like 2 years ago. I had the worst world championships, like, and just the whole day of hell. And I think that came to me as a present, because all of that, like what I learned, I was like, I never want to feel that way ever again. And I kind of like changed my attitude for the next year, and I had the best time ever. So
you've been reading your Epictetus.
No, well, I mean, you love that stuff, and I always like think it's great.
But you're either winning or you're learning. You had a bad World Championships 2 World Championships ago.
Yeah.
And you don't want to repeat that.
I will never, because I learned from it.
Exactly.
And I learned so much about how to handle disappointment. It took a while. I mean, that put me in like a bad depression.
What is even disappointment, though, if you think about it?
I think what happened was I took all of the things that I couldn't control. I had really bad luck, unfortunately, with equipment and things like that. And everything was just times 1,000, instead of like the little. Now I would just handle it differently.
Breathe.
Yeah, and just there were so many things, but again, I used that as a wonderful learning experience, because I came back the next year and had the best time ever, and just the attitude in general going in, being like, this is fun.
And also in the same way that you can't control what other people's opinions are, so you might as well not even worry about them.
Yeah.
You also can't control those outside circumstances, those setbacks that come. They're gonna come.
Yeah.
They're gonna come. But can you just focus on yourself and your own actions and get around them? A setback happens. The more time you spend you can get upset about it. The more time you spend being upset about it, and the way that you think about how upset you are, just delays moving on and taking the next step.
Yeah.
And breathing is one way. Hey, there's a cyclist. Breathing is one way to shorten that time where you're paralyzed between a stimulus or something happening and then taking the next step, the next action to kind of move forward. Yeah. Not that that doesn't have to exist, but how long does it have to exist?
Yeah.
So here we are, 3.5 weeks away, and we're getting pretty close to the place where we're going to start to warm up. And we're going to go out there, enjoy this natural splendor and sunshine, and see how it goes.
Right on.
Right on.
How it's supposed to feel.
27th, 2023. Descending the mountain after a couple of more times today. Eating the pastries. Rehydrating. So, what's been going on? What'd you do yesterday?
Yesterday we did the steeper side of Great Lock and tested it out with my new bike and my new gearing. And you gave me some good tips on not shifting in certain positions.
Oh yeah, try not to have too much tension on the chain and the crank when you shift, because then it goes clunk, clunk, clunk. Try not to shift when you're out of the saddle. And also, if you see the climb starting to steepen, trying to shift beforehand, get a little bit more RPM, and then just trying to ride your way up. If you're shifting on the steeper incline, then when you back off the power to be able to shift, you kind of lose a little momentum. So just the timing of shifting and things like that, and being a little bit more easy on your derailleur hanger.
Yeah. So I learned that, and I went into it thinking, oh, I'm just gonna try to keep it consistent, but then I forgot, like, you have to really kind of go hard. It's not like a consistent climb. It's like
So you're training from Mount Washington, which is kind of pretty consistent. Mount Greylock, you go up to 20% and you go to sections of 0%. So when you're looking to pace yourself, as you know, and you're describing, you're putting a little bit more power out on the uphill parts, and then a little less power on the less uphill parts. So it's more of a variable effort. Your variability index and training peaks would be a lot higher.
Yeah. But I felt good. I kind of was riding and wasn't sure where I was. Kind of like, was I gonna get a PR? Was I not? And then I just kind of changed my mindset to, I'm here to just, practice and get a good ride in. So I was pleasantly surprised when I did get a PR. So that was positive by over 40 seconds. So that was really great. And then on the steepest section on the bottom, I wound up getting a PR there as well. So all good things.
Faster overall.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah.
Good. A little bit more fitness, better bike, better gearing, more practice.
Yeah.
You already had the fastest time, so 40 seconds off of the fastest time is really good.
Yeah. And then, I didn't sleep very well at all last night. I probably had 3 hours, and it's been like a little choppy, so I'm definitely going to be trying to work on that the next couple of weeks leading into race time. But yeah.
So you went up the other side of the mountain today and went a little bit slower than last time. The conditions were different.
Well, I was on a good pace. And then all of a sudden the wind hit me.
Wind was shifting.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was really hot. And then I made the mistake of, I unzipped my jersey halfway, and then all of a sudden, like, it went to the bottom, so it was like open like a parachute.
You were parachuting it.
So then I completely took it off, and then it was
flapping
blowing.
in the wind.
And my phone, when I would stand up, the jersey was so sweaty, and it was like going up and down, So made a mistake today, but had a great ride. We got to the top, and then decided to ride it again, and you gave me some really good tips as far as like that one little section where it descends. Like, you gave me some good descending tips.
Inside foot up, and you want to really cut the corners, so you're not just going right along the white line or the yellow line. You want to start on the outside, go inside, finish on the outside. So you make the turn a little bit of a straighter curve rather than a more rounded curve. You keep more speed, less braking.
Yeah, so it was really great to have you behind me with the car, and then like kind of driving up to me and giving me some advice, like even, kind of staying relaxed and making sure I stay more in a straight line, climbing overall. So that was really helpful. And it was just really good to get another another 45 minutes of climbing.
More practice.
Yeah.
I noticed that your front wheel was always going this way, that way, and not only was it going this way, that way, sometimes you would go over the white line, sometimes the yellow line. So you're adding so much distance to the amount that you're covering to go up the mountain. What do you think that was? How did you correct it? Because you did correct it.
Well, I kept my arms more steady, and I was focusing. I was just kind of not looking too far ahead. I was kind of looking a little more down and just kind of just trying to keep myself straight instead of I don't know.
Just focusing more in on it and more core tightness and lat muscles pulling down.
I think being primarily an inside rider and just starting to learn and ride outside, there's definitely little muscles that you don't use when you're on the trainer, because the trainer's your bike
fixed.
your bike is fixed. So people always say, oh man, how do you not break your bike? Because I really thrash it around when I'm Zwifting. So I think next year or the next couple of months, just to keep working on the little muscles. Even yesterday when I woke up today, I was like, ooh, these little muscles are sore, because there's just different muscles that are used outside. So
I think for you, your core is plenty strong. It's just putting the mind, muscle, and technique into it, and remembering that this definitely isn't just Swift.
Yeah.
Where it's all about maximum power. It's also about efficiency and things like that.
Yeah.
So
but overall,
you already have the strength. You just gotta remember and stay relaxed, and at the same time, your core is engaged.
Yeah.
You can do it.
But what's so interesting too is the more my eyes get used to seeing a steep climb or something, I get used to it now. So in the beginning, even in Montauk, the little tiny kicker of a hill used to look so steep and so scary, and now I'm like, eh. So even now riding Greylock a few times, I'm just now comfortable seeing the steepness of it. So yeah.
Going into a climb like this or the Washington Hillclimb, people like you said, the interviews, oh, this is the craziest and hardest thing I've ever done. Maybe it is, but you know about how long it's going to take. You know about the amount of power that you can hold, and it really doesn't matter if at any moment it's 10% or 20% or there's a little sprinkle or there's a little wind.
Yeah.
You have the gearing to go as slow as you need to go. All you have to do is just hold your power, hold your rhythm, and don't even worry about those external things, because it's going to take that amount of time.
Yeah.
So. And
the other thing is, even today, what I like to do is I like to kind of not look. Well, it's not like a crazy traffic road, so you don't have to be always looking up, and because we rode it, I knew what the road was like, so there wasn't something in the road where I had to oh my god. So I was able to kind of look not too far ahead. I was able to kind of just look a little bit in front of me, and it kind of makes it just, you get into your zone. So you just kind of look at your power meter. Well, for me, I look at my heart rate, my power meter, and I just stay in my little zone and don't get because it's just pedaling.
Exactly.
At that point. It's just pedaling.
One pedal stroke at a time, and that kind of goes right into the bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when you get a PR, how do you feel?
I mean, I felt great, but it wasn't going to take away from the training ride, and that's what I've just been doing this entire journey, has been just enjoying and savoring the process and the training.
And so what'd you feel today when you didn't get a PR?
I mean, it would have been great if I got it. I didn't wake up this morning saying, today I'm hitting the other side and I'm going for it. I just wanted to go out for a ride, and I went hard in the beginning, but I wasn't it wasn't going to affect me if I did or not. I was just here to kind of have another training ride. And I've been just really enjoying every step of the way, So the race is going to be icing on the cupcake. But the best part has been coming up here and training, or like, you know, training outside in Montauk, training on Zwift. Like I like the whole build up to it, you know, not drinking and like making, it's just everything about, I just like the whole process. So
yeah, it's real fun. You take yesterday and celebrate. You say, wow, I had a great ride yesterday. Ooh, new PR. Today didn't get a PR, but there was an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, but there were certain sections I did get PRs on the other side.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So heading back home, another training camp in the books. Got your bike.
Yeah.
And we got another 3.5 weeks to go.
Yeah. 3.5 weeks till Mount Washington, but we still have more time for Mount Greylock Hillclimb TT. That's
Fun.
September 9th.
The fun never, and then it's Go Zwift season.
And then it's Zwift season, so.
The fun never ends.
Yeah. Okay, your action.
All right, so we're talking about climbing technique. We're out here climbing the mountain today, and I'm noticing a little bit of swerving around, going to the yellow line, the white line, maybe a little core not engaged, so we're not going in a straight line. So here is just an example of why you want to go in a straight line. We're going to count 5 revolutions of the wheel. We got the valve extender down here. I'm going to go in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and my assistant is going to stay right here.
While I film you.
Exactly. So you put your feet right there. All right. 5 revolutions. But if I'm swerving, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm probably a good couple of feet from where I was last time. So that's probably 20 feet. 2 feet every 20 feet up a 9-mile climb. Imagine how much you're adding to your climb. So core tight, upper body relaxed, straight line. Let's get out of the rain.